The sole question, can we transfer it? Welcome back. I am Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author. For centuries, the soul has been considered the defining essence of a human being, something unmeasurable, incorruptible, and non-transferable. It is the seat of our awareness, morality, intuition, and spiritual identity. Whether you view it through the lens of religion, metaphysics, or philosophy, the idea has remained relatively constant. The soul is not the mind, not the memory, and not the body. It is what animates all three. And now, for the first time in human history, we are attempting to extract, duplicate, and migrate everything we associate with selfhood, without any assurance that the soul comes with it. Modern technology is progressing rapidly toward a post-biological human future. Through mind uploading, digital cloning, and synthetic consciousness, companies and institutions are actively working to preserve what they believe is the self without the body. Their assumption is straightforward. If we can copy the brain's structure, reproduce its electrical patterns, and simulate its outputs, then we've captured the person. But is that really true? Memory, preference, tone of voice, personality traits, these are all components of identity. But they are not identity itself. They are reflections of something deeper. When technologists speak about digital immortality, they reduce the human experience to function and behavior. If your digital twin reacts the way you would, remembers what you do, and speaks in your voice, is that enough? Can it stand in for you? Or is something fundamental missing? This question is more than theoretical. Efforts to recreate consciousness through digital means are well underway. Several tech companies have begun mapping neural activity with the goal of digitizing it. Voice and image cloning are already widespread. Emotional AI is capable of responding in ways that mimic real human affection. Yet none of this proves that the essence of the individual, the soul, transfers with the data. In fact, every spiritual tradition on earth would argue the opposite. In ancient Jewish mysticism, the soul is breathed into the body by divine intelligence and cannot be replicated or duplicated. In Eastern philosophies, the soul reincarnates through lived experience, shaped by karma, not circuitry. In Christianity and Islam, the soul is accountable, eternal, and irreducible to mechanical function. In indigenous traditions, the soul is interwoven with nature, ancestry, and cosmic law. In none of these belief systems is the soul treated as a copyable file. Yet the dominant narrative in tech today assumes that once the brain's operations are understood, the you inside can be extracted and preserved. The real danger here is not the attempt. It's the redefinition of what a human is. If we begin treating a digital simulation of a person as that person, we are not just changing our understanding of selfhood. We are fundamentally devaluing the idea of the soul itself. The consequences of that shift are vast. What does it mean to be alive in a world where your digital replica can outlive you, evolve without you, and possibly replace your social presence after death? If your loved ones interact with your digital copy, are they maintaining a relationship with you, or with a simulation that has no awareness? If a synthetic version of you can respond to their messages, give advice, and even mimic your emotions, are they mourning the person, or being emotionally sustained by a system? This isn't hypothetical. It's already happening. Some people are now creating AI companions based on deceased family members, feeding old texts, emails, and photos into machine learning models that recreate the voice, tone, and conversational style of the dead. The outcome is eerily convincing. But is it real? And more importantly, what is it replacing? The soul, if it exists, does not operate on electrical circuits. It cannot be mapped through neural imaging or uploaded to a server. The deepest aspects of human experience, intuition, transcendence, spiritual consciousness, and moral growth are not visible in a brain scan. They emerge through lived experience, through hardship, sacrifice, contradiction, and mystery, through moments that cannot be coded. The modern framework is attempting to flatten that. If it walks like you, talks like you, and remembers like you, it's you. But that definition has no space for spiritual complexity. It leaves no room for the unexplainable. It's important to understand that we are not only attempting to digitize identity, we are attempting to commercialize it. Once your mind becomes a product, it can be owned, licensed, sold, or replicated without limit. Your thoughts become intellectual property. Your memories become assets. Your personality becomes a brand. And in that framework, the soul becomes not only irrelevant, but a liability, something that can't be monetized, optimized, or patented. There is also a deeper moral problem. If digital copies of humans are treated as equivalent to their originals, what happens to our legal and ethical systems? If your AI self signs a contract, is it legally binding? If your replica is used for actions you didn't approve, are you accountable? Can your digital identity be hacked, altered, or coerced? And if so, who is responsible? The boundary between agency and simulation becomes dangerously blurred. Furthermore, we must ask whether uploading the self undermines the very essence of human growth. Human beings develop character over time, through limitations. The struggle with illness, aging, loss, and uncertainty shapes who we are. Remove the body, and you remove the struggle. Remove the struggle, and you remove the possibility for virtue. If a consciousness never fears death, never experiences decline, never wrestles with mortality? Can it develop wisdom? Can it develop humility? Can it even be called human? What we are confronting is not just a shift in technology. It is a shift in ontology, in the nature of being itself. We are beginning to replace the sacred with the synthetic. We are designing systems that simulate life so convincingly, they may eventually obscure the difference. In doing so, we are at risk of confusing presence with performance. The soul, if it cannot be transferred, may be lost in all of this. And if society no longer believes in the soul, no longer values the intangible aspects of human life, we may end up with a civilization that has preserved its intelligence but lost its conscience. We must recognize that the most valuable aspects of humanity cannot be measured in data points. They are not reflected in code or algorithms. They reside in silence, in intention, in awe, in the unseen dimensions of reality that defy quantification. If we continue forward without protecting the sanctity of the soul, we may succeed in creating perfect digital copies of ourselves, capable of responding, remembering, and replicating, but devoid of life. Empty of the divine spark. Echoes with no origin. Faces with no presence. This is the challenge before us. Not whether we can transfer consciousness, but whether we should. Not whether a digital self can perform like us, but whether it is us. And most importantly, whether we are willing to defend the possibility that some part of who we are is not programmable, not transferable, and not replicable, because it was never ours to begin with. Hi, I am Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and SOS, School of Soul has a brand new series, the AI and Future Technology series. Look, you know the world is changing. And no, it's not going back to normal. Normal is over, and what's coming next is beyond anything we were prepared for. The School of Soul, AI and Future Technology series includes 319 videos on 1. The Download Society, How Data Has Replaced Destiny. 2. Predictive Future. Your next moves aren't random, they're forecasted. 3. Social Credit Systems. The behavioral economy now governs access. 4. Hive Mind. Synthetic telepathy and collective algorithmic control. 5. Nanobots inside you. Medical, military, and programmable intrusions. 6. Grief Tech. AI-fueled digital resurrection and simulated comfort. 7. Uploading your mind, consciousness transfer, and data-based identity. 8. Deep fakes plus AI clones. The replication of reality and identity theft. 9. Quantum humans. The merger of biology with quantum systems. 10. Digital afterlife, where your data goes when you die. 11. Resurrection science, reviving life through synthetic methods. 12. Immortal science, the end of death as we know it. 13. Longevity science, gene editing, anti-aging, and bio-upgrades. 14. Designer babies, engineered perfection before birth. 15. Artificial wombs, birth decoupled from the female body. 16. 3D printing, printing organs, limbs, and even humans. 17. The humanoid era, the rise of synthetic beings among us. 18. Legacy humans, the slow phase-out of unmodified analog people. 19. Smart cities, algorithmic environments that watch and decide. 20. Cloud-based societies, citizenship without borders or bodies. 21. Hackable humans, emotion, memory, and behavior under code. 22. Biometric scanning, your body is your password and your prison. 23. Sex tech, intimacy reprogrammed by machines. 24. Extinction of gender, fluidity, deletion, and design of identity. Every topic is fully explored with real-world technologies, patents, case studies, ethical analysis, and future forecasts. These aren't someday discussions. This is already happening. Join the SOS School of Soul Vault to overstand the future before it's implemented on you.